Hello and welcome again into my home. This is Reverend Rick. I'm going to talk today about my fundamental views or values. Every religion has certain core beliefs. With Christianity, it's, one God created heaven and the earth, Adam and Eve, Jesus. Muslims believe in the one God and Muhammad's his prophet, 5 pillars. Hindus have the one. So everything's based on certain principles common to everybody that follows that faith. I don't follow a certain faith. I have my own. So I just thought I would share with anybody who's watching this what those are. My first belief is that there is more than what we see, more than what we know. I've said this before, where basically, for lack of a better way to put it, I believe we have a spirit. Now, our bodies work on electricity. When our brains fire synapse and have little electrical impulses going between brain cells, that's how we think. Our neural system is basically electrical conduit. Knowing that you can never destroy energy, it only changes form from one form to another, what happens to that energy when we die? Pretty much in a nutshell, like an embryo developing in a womb is preparing a body for life as we know it. Maybe our life here as we know it is preparing our soul for the next life. I don't know if there's an afterlife, but I think that there is more to this puzzle than what we have or what we can see. My second one is that there is no right or wrong religion, and I keep stressing this over and over. One of my biggest gripes with people is when they judge other people according to their beliefs or their values. Just because you think a certain way doesn't mean that I need to think that same way. Just because you believe something is right or wrong doesn't mean that I have to. And it certainly doesn't mean that I'm wrong if I don't think the same way you do. This is one of the biggest issues I have with Christians. They feel like they have to convert everybody to think the way they do. They send out missionaries. If you believe what we believe, you'll be saved. And there's too many uncertain things about Christianity for it to be for me. Now, that may not apply to everybody, but to me it does. There's too many contradictions. I'm not content with the thought of there are some things we're not supposed to know. I want to know. That's why I'm doing this. So, there is no right or wrong religion. Everybody's entitled to think what they want. I believe that all men are created equal, just like the foundation of our country says. Men are all created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. I believe that. When we're born, we're all equal. And I mean that mentally, spiritually. Who we are on our path through life is developed by us and by those around us that influence us. There's not somebody born bad. There's not somebody born good. People are products of their environment. People are made the way they're brought up. Somebody who is just a blatant racist was raised that way. Somebody who believes that everybody loves everybody and kumbaya and everybody hold hands is raised that way. So everybody's equal. They start at the same basic level. And my last one is sin. I've said this one before too. I even devoted a whole video to it. Sin is individual. You can't make a list of what is sins. Okay, the whole list of 7 deadly sins doesn't work for me. Sin is what we perceive it to be. If I do something wrong and it bothers me, if it hurts my conscience, if I dwell on it, if I know it's wrong, that is a sin. The way to absolve myself of that sin is to do what is right by whatever I did wrong. If I did wrong to a person, I need to make that right in the form of an apology. If I do wrong to myself, I need to make that right with myself. Sin is individual interpretation of right and wrong. There is no ultimate right, there is no ultimate wrong. I've used the argument of where if a serial killer kills a bunch of people, if that person in their mind honestly does not recognize that they're doing wrong, in their mind, they're not committing a sin. To us, they are. To them, they're not. But by us saying that they are, we're judging them according to our beliefs. Now, granted, this is an extreme example, but it's a good example of what I'm trying to say. So, basically, we have a soul. What happens to it, I don't know. Where it comes from, I don't know. I do believe we have one, though. There's no right or wrong religion. Everybody's entitled to think and feel and believe what they want. We're all born equal. Everybody starts off with the same clean slate. And what our house looks like at the end of our life is how we build it. And sin is individual. What you think is a sin may not be to me, and vice versa. Personally, I like a good single malt scotch now and then. I drink. That's not a sin, because I enjoy it. Just like somebody that, has premarital sex. If they enjoy it, that's not a sin. If they believe that that's wrong and they have premarital sex and feel guilty about it, then it's a sin. Then they have to make it right with themselves. Once again, this is Reverend Rick Clay. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. See you soon.